Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And if you are new here, welcome. All right guys, so in this video, we will be continuing with the wood grain look, but this time I will be showing you not only a different color wood, but also how to color wood with your Prismacolor pencils, or any color pencils for that matter, on line art that doesn't have the grains like the tables. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned. Alright guys, so as I mentioned before, in this video, this segment is going to be coloring like the objects that don't have the grains like the table. So you see I finished the table, and pretty much just the way that like I colored the chairs, like the wicker wooden chairs, that's how you color objects that don't have lines in them, or like grain lines. You're gonna pretty much either make your own lines, or you can choose just have it that color. So we are going to work on the floors in this video. And if you're wondering, I've already finished all the cushions. So the colors that I used for the pillow cushions, of course I go from dark to light. So my darkest color I used was the Crimson Red PC 924 for the top pillows. And I also used that for, yes I did. I used that not for I used the Crimson Red for the lines of, the seam, not the seam, what is this? Like the fringe area. I used that, the darkest color. And I also use that to come back in to darken up my little edges, but I'll explain this to you in a second. My first darkest color that I started with is the Poppy Red PC 922 for the pillow cushions. My next darkest color was the Orange PC 918. And my lightest color was the Spanish Orange. And then, of course, I used my white pencil to kind of keep my white areas white and blend it in. Then I came back with my Crimson Red after I had that laid down, and I just darkened up all my lines or all my areas that was beside like the lines, beside the artwork, because I like to have those areas darker that's beside items, because that's kind of where your shadows are. So if you have any questions, or if I didn't explain that to you very well, let me know in the comments below, and I'll try to explain it a little bit better on our next video. But you'll pretty much see what I'm talking about. I'm a visual learner, so if you're a visual learner, usually visual learners can't explain what they mean. They can show you more better. They can show you better than they can tell you. So anyway, so that's the color of the cushions. And the seat part was, the seat cushion of the chair was Spanish Orange. Where was it? Spanish Orange, which is PC 1002, and Canary Yellow PC 916, and the white. So that's what I did with the cushions. So now I'm going to return all of those back to their lovely, lovely home in my pencil case. All right, got that done. Now I'm going to work on a different color of wood. So like I told you in the last video, I'm going to start doing a color palette combo of like different things, because I finally realized how badly I need it. So this time we're going to do the floor. What we're going to work on this video is a cherry slash mahogany. This is going to be my version of a cherry slash mahogany wood color. Kind of that deep red, and we're going to do that for the floor. So the colors I will be using are, my darkest one is going to be Tuscan Red, which is PC 937. My middle color is Chestnut, PC 1081, and my lightest is Burnt Ochre. I guess I'm just going to use 3 this time. 943. All right, so let's give a little example. Oh, those two are very similar. I don't know if I want to add a variation or not. I did an example of them already, how I wanted it, kind of tested it out, but oh well, we'll just work with it. I would like 3 very different colors. I think I may have to rework this, guys. Well, we'll see. We'll see. We'll just roll with that for now, okay? All right. So you just have to kind of figure it out as you go. So if you missed part 1 of this, doing the oak color table and chairs, you can check out that video here. I'll put the link up here somewhere at the top. And you can check that out there. So I guess I'm going to start. So what we're going to start with is I'm going to take my darkest color, and I'll zoom you in a little while. Well, you know what? No, let me zoom you in now so you can see all the action all the time. Get you as close as I possibly can. All right. There we go. So what we're going to do first is we're going to do, my favorite thing to do is to outline. You know I am an outliner. That sounds like a movie. Or was that the Outlanders? The Outsiders? I forgot, but it was Tommy Boy who was in that movie. I think it was the Outsiders. So you're going to outline with a medium pressure hand. Now I'm going to go back. Now this is super easy, guys. Anyone can do it. I'm going to go back in with a little bit lighter pressure so that it can kind of blend seamlessly. And I'm also going to go down and up and down and up so that, you know, you can have those variations in the wood. So then I'm going to take my next darkest color, which is the chestnut. And I don't think I need to use this chestnut because, well, yeah, it's doing what I want it to do. I'm going to kind of go over that darkest color to kind of get that white out because, like I said, I did lighter pressure, but I'm not going to try to get the white out completely because we still can blend it out. And I don't want the colors to melt together too much where they will melt together and be kind of muddy. I don't want that. Now we're getting our lightest color, which is the burnt ochre. And we're kind of going over all of it a little bit, a little kind of medium pressure. And we're going in our white area. Not really going over all of it because I don't want all of it to have that burnt ochre look. So, all right, so once we've done that, I'm going to take my blender pencil and make sure it's clean. And I'm going to lightly go over all the areas that has white. I've learned with this Prismacolor blender pencil, the key is a very light hand because it will scratch the colors up. It will scratch up the colors, like pull it up, bring it up. All right, so that's my plank. That's my cherry / mahogany colored plank. Now you can do your black, get your black and do your line to to crisp the lines up. And this is what I usually do at the end after I've colored them all. But I'm just demonstrating this one. Now you can leave the floor like this, okay? Because all wood, you can't really see grains in all your wood all the time. Some of it is just color, you know? Usually that's like the laminate wood, the cheaper wood. But hey, we're not talking about that. Anyway, or you can actually add your lines in like this wood grain here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add me a couple of lines in it. I'm not going to make it really, really obvious, but I'm going to add us a couple of lines with our black into this wood. So do a couple of squiggles, couple straight, do a couple of dots, do maybe a V color and squiggle it here and there, and just make it kind of look like your wood grain. Okay, there we go. I like that. That's it. Let me do a couple of circles to make it look like kind of like knotty pine or something. Knotty pine. And this is not necessarily the color of cherry or mahogany wood, but this is my take on the wood color. It's kind of, I like to name my or identify my things with something that is, you know, very obvious in my mind how it would look. So your version of a cherry wood or mahogany may look completely different, but this is my version here. So I'm going to do a couple more. Zoom out a little taste. Do a couple of more. I'm going to do just maybe all of these right here. So that you can see them all done together and how they'll look like in a section. So I think I'm good with these three colors for that project. So that's it. That's what I'm going to have for that one. So let's go again. Let's outline our area. I'm going to do one plank at a time just to kind of focus on it. Then I'm going to get lighter at my hand, and then I'm going to go inside with like a kind of a crossover so that it can be like a variation of colors. Take my next color, chestnut, and kind of lightly go over all of it. And then take my burnt sienna and go in the white areas. I'm going to completely cover all the white areas on this plank. And take my blender pencil and very, very lightly blend that in. And I'm going to wait and do all my lines last. Now, wasn't that easy, guys? We did that plank in 2.3 seconds. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Now what I'm going to do here, I think I'm not going to put a line right there because I want there to be an obvious, well, I'm going to outline that black anyway, but I want it to be an obvious color differentiation there. So I'm not going to outline it too much right there because you want each point to be unique. So I'm going to go like a little moon right here, leave this part kind of clear, white. See how I'm doing that? Kind of looks like a Aztec teepee or something. Oh, let me move this camera so you can see them better. There we go. So you see how we're going to have that variation in the wood? So I'm going to go ahead and just, I could do one plank at a time. I think I will for demonstration's sake. Usually I would just do all the Tuscan red and do everywhere I want Tuscan red at, but, and then we're going to put this chestnut over here. So there can be like a difference, a good variation. Of color. All right, take my lightest color, and I want to leave some of that white showing on this one. I don't want to melt the colors together too much. Blender pencil and kind of lightly blend. Want a little white showing, just a little taste. All right, now let's go back with my Tuscan red. And I think I want to leave that. Get my chestnut. And my burnt sienna. And my blender pencil. All right. So I'm going to do this next humongous plank right here. I'm not going to outline. I'm going to outline with this Tuscan red around all of the dark areas though. All of the areas where I want shadow, where that would normally be shadow, which is like under the curtain. And I'll probably come in to do the finishing touches to put like an even darker color right under that curtain so that it can represent shadow. But right now I'm going to put my darkest color definitely right under that curtain, if that makes sense, guys. All right, so what I want to do here is do my little Aztec teepee looking thing. You know that Aztec design I'm talking about, that kind of looks like that scratchy scribbles looking stuff. I don't know what I'm talking about, guys. You know what I mean though. You can read my mind, can't you? Yeah. So I have my next medium color. And I'm going right beside, for the most part, that darkest color. And that's how you get that variation in your wood. All right, now let's get our lightest color. And go to all of our light spaces and white spaces. the blender pencil. I used to be totally against blender pencils because I didn't know how to use my Prismacolor blender pencil at first. I was like, ugh, no. And then I got the Koh-i-Noor blender pencil and I was like, oh, this is even worse. And then I realized what I was doing wrong. I wasn't using it correctly. You can't be heavy-handed with a blender pencil. And the purpose is just not really to blend colors. It's to really just get your, well, it is to blend colors. What am I talking about? It's to get your colors, you know, to get that white out. Blend that white part away. And, you know, I want that. I'm going to go in there a little bit where that white is. Just a little bit. All right, guys. So we have 3 planks. You know what? Let me just do this last plank right quick. It's not going to take us long. So that you can get a complete idea. And go up and down. Get all chestnut. I'm not going to put the chestnut up there where that little white area is. I'm going to wait and use my lightest color for that one. Use my burnt ochre for that one. And here. Blender pencil. One last plank. You're not in frame for that one last plank. Here you go. Tuscan red, chestnut, and the lightest color. I want more of that lighter color in this plank. If I was using my tritone, Koh-i-Noor tritones, this would have been so much easier. All I would have had to do was turn my pencil barrel. But we're doing strictly Prismacolors here. It's a little bit harder work. The tritones make it so much easier, but that's okay. Sometimes you need to work hard for your work. You need to work hard for your work. Now see those white areas? That gave it a kind of rustic, worn finish. So if you would have wanted it to be very new looking and crisp and, you know, you would have colored it in and not left those white areas. But I also like to think that those kind of white lighter areas represent like light highlights also. So it depends on which way you're going for it. You know, it can represent either way, but you can do it however you like. It's your coloring page. You're the boss of it. But most floors aren't going to be super perfect unless you just got them done. So now I'm going to go and do all of my lines with my black. And it's okay if you go outside of the line, or if your line is crooked. It's okay. Just don't be super heavy-handed with the black. Okay. Do all of your lines. Okay, I did this one up here already. And right here. And when you're doing your outlining, make sure your black pencil is sharp enough where you won't have to go out of the line too bad. Oops. And see, I went out of the line a little bit more than I wanted to. But that's okay. use a little eraser, a little taste. I'm going to color over that anyway. Now let's do our little wood grain. So do a few lines. Kind of squiggle them on, a few dots. A few little circles to make it look like it's kind of naughty. Not naughty, but naughty. All right. I think I want to do this last little area right here. That's that OCD, guys. I want this whole section to be completed so you can see what it's looking like. No, that's not part of the rug. I had to look and make sure. And since you don't have like a whole lot of area to work with in those little spaces, you don't have to put a lot of your darker color. I like having more, almost pretty much a lot more of my lighter color, so you can see a clear distinction in those very small areas. And I'm not doing any white. In that area, but I am going to use my block. I'm going to outline. All right, guys, that is my section of my cherry slash mahogany looking wood floors. That's it. That's so easy, right? Let's zoom out. So you see how easy that was? Wasn't that just easy, guys? Like super easy. So your floors are going to look like that. And I didn't want to make them like the same color as my table because I wanted my, you know, I wanted everything to have its own variation. So the color that I want the bookshelf to be a rendition of like a walnut kind of color, like a dark, deep walnut. So that color combination, I'm going to have to figure that out, but I want it to be like deep browns so that everything can have a distinction. Everything can be very distinct. So that's it. I'm going to come back to you guys with a part 3 of me doing the walnut deep dark color on the bookshelf. And I don't think I'm going to do like grains on the bookshelf. I think I want them to be like plain wood, but we'll see. I think that's what I want. Yes. We'll see, guys. So that is it. Thank you so much for tuning in with me, doing this wood. And like I said, thank you so much for stopping by. Thanks for your support. I can't talk because I need some water. And tune in for the next segment of how I'm going to do the bookshelves, okay? So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. And if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions for me, just leave them down in the comments below. And I'd be more than happy to read what you have to say about what can help improve this channel. So, Dollar Diva fam, thanks so much for coming by and supporting me. So until next time, you know what you gotta do. Be happy while coloring. Okay, guys. Bye.